Hi, my name's Adam Chamberlain from Elite Pro Golf, and this week's tip is we're going to talk about winter. Winter's on its way, unfortunately, whether you like it or not. Who, hands up, wants to play better next season? I certainly do. So for those of you out there that are really keen to get better, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to get a notepad and I want you to sit down when you've got some time and I want you to go through your scores. Have a little look on how did I do, look at all your scores for the year if you can do, and I want you to think about areas that were really good this year, areas that weren't very good. So I drove the ball really well this year, for instance, but actually, do you know what? I didn't really hole as many putts as I would like, or my short game was certain shots that weren't very good. Now, to do this, you really need to have some statistics. Now, those of you that want to get better, keeping some sort of stats is better than nothing. There's loads of different apps and gadgets out there that can help you with your statistics, but you need to review your season with your scores and the statistics so that you know which areas of the game are letting you down, so that you can write a plan in here for winter. So you know, 1, how often you're going to practice, 2, when you're going to practice, 3, kind of what that's going to look like come the start of the season. Because it's no good, and what a lot of people do is, oh, the weather's not very good, I won't practice this week. No, it's okay. But when they've got a plan, you will be amazed how many people actually do the practice even when the weather's not very good. Why? Because they've got a plan and they can see the end goal. They can see next season, yes, I want to be ready for next season. So, for instance, if you don't write anything down, you're purely going on your opinion. Okay? Now, we don't like opinions. Why? Because, to be quite honest, they're not factual enough. I want to know how many fairways did you hit this year, percentage-wise? How many greens in regulation did you hit this year? And what was your make percentage, let's say, from 3 feet, 6 feet, and 10 feet? How many putts from inside of those distances did you hole? Because without that, you don't really have any information to go on. So we all, too often hear, I'm not putting very well. Geez, my putting's really not very good. But when you look at the stats, basically from your wedges down or from your short game and in, we're not hitting the ball inside 6 feet or 10 feet often enough. Now, what does that mean for your putting? Well, let's be honest, unless you're inside 8 feet, maybe 10 feet, some people would argue, and PGA Tour averages would be, but look, we're not PGA Tour players, so let's say 8 feet or maybe a little bit closer, that's your 50% chance of holding a putt. 50% chance, let's say. So if you're not chipping the ball close enough or pitching the ball inside of those areas, you have less than a 50% chance of holding that putt. Okay, now the reality is that may mean that actually there's not a lot wrong with your putting, could be, but actually what's happening is we're not chipping the ball close enough. So when we miss a green, we're not in a position where we can maybe get up and down, so we may be hitting it on the short side of the green. So all these things to consider. Now, but if you don't write it down, you don't review your season, I think most people do this. They do the definition of insanity, which to me means you're going to do exactly the same thing you did this year. You're going to make the same mistakes you made this year. If you really want to get better, you need to take some time, write yourself a plan for winter, look at what you did this year, analyze it correctly, and we can help you with this. But let's make a plan, let's get ready for next season, let's work on the areas that you need to work on so that you can play the best you've ever played come through 2020. So let's get ready, let's start today, put some time aside, write down a plan, and let's get ready for next season.